Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I'm the Sci-Fi Horror Guy. Welcome back to another review. Continuing on with the Rambo series marathon, I said I was going to review every single Rambo film up to Rambo Last Blood, which is coming out very soon. I've already reviewed First Blood, so definitely check that out. Today we're going to talk about my favorite of the Rambo series, and that is Rambo First Blood Part 2. You'll notice that they put First Blood in the subtitle this time. Of course, Rambo 3 just threw that out the window. You know, let's just call it Rambo 3. And then the fourth movie, oh, here comes Rambo. That's it. No more First Blood. At least the newest Rambo film is called Rambo Last Blood. I mean, that's catchy, but anyway, First Blood Part 2 is 1985 American action thriller, and there's a lot of action, let me tell you. I always call this the quintessential Rambo film, okay? To me, this is what Rambo is. Kills people, blows people up, shoots helicopters. You know, it shows what he can do. He's a one-man army. You know, Troutman's always talking about how good he is. Did things that make a Billy go puke. Rambo was the best. He shows it here. Directed by George P. Cosmatos, who did amazing films like Cobra. Awesome Stallone film. He did Leviathan. I'm gonna pop your tops, all 6 of them. Who also has Richard Crenna in it. Daniel Stern, Peter Weller, RoboCop himself. Also did Tombstone. One of the best westerns I've ever seen. An amazing cast here. Michael Biehn, Sam Elliott, Stephen Lang, Bill Paxton, Michael Rooker, Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, Billy Zane, Charlton Heston. Anyway, George Cosmatos is an awesome director, and it shows. This is definitely an awesome action film. Co-written by Stallone and screenplay by James Cameron and Stallone. But James Cameron came up with a title in the first draft of this. And James Cameron called it First Blood 2, The Mission. Now what's interesting about that is it feels more like a sequel. I mean, First Blood 2. I don't know how I feel about the mission part, but just calling it First Blood 2 or First Blood Part 2 would have worked. But, like I said, that was the first draft. But it's cool that James Cameron has, you know, his hand in this. Jerry Goldsmith, once again, did the music. He's got amazing music, like the first movie does. I mean, the first movie had, you know, an amazing score, but this just adds to it. I mean, it's awesome. Had a budget of $25.5 million, and it made a whopping $300 million at the box office. This was actually considered a major worldwide box office blockbuster. Became the most recognized and memorable film of the series. Inspired rip-offs, parodies, video games. I mean, the Rambo video game for the NES is actually from this movie, Rambo 2. And the movie UHF, starring Weird Al Yankovic, they do a, you know, they do a parody of Rambo. So, yeah, it's the most memorable film of the series. I mean, it made a ton of money. It blew everything out of the park, even though it received negative reviews. I don't understand it. I don't understand the negative reviews for this. Makes no sense to me. This movie is action-packed. It's a lot of fun. Seeing Rambo do his thing, kick ass. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when he camouflages himself, covers himself with mud, goes up against the wall, which is made of mud. This guy walks by and he opens his eyes and he just uses his knife. I always used to be like scared of that scene when I was younger. I was just like, oh my god, that was awesome. You know, it reminded me of when, you know, Schwarzenegger covered himself in mud in The Predator. When, you know, when he was trying to hide from Predator, he was just sitting there trying to, you know, hide himself within the mud on the ground. But you got Stallone, of course, as John Rambo. You got Richard Crenna back as Troutman. Charles Napier as Murdoch. Murdoch, I'm coming for you. Stephen Burkoff and Martin Cove. I like that. I like that. Anyway, pretty good cast. So the plot, basically, it takes place after First Blood, where Rambo is in prison for what he did in the events of First Blood, and he has a choice to get out and follow an executive order where he has to document the existence of POWs in Vietnam. He's sent there to basically relay some information. But he gets trapped behind enemy lines, gets captured, and escapes, and all hell breaks loose. And you have Murdoch, who is in charge of this whole thing, but doesn't give a crap if Rambo gets hurt or if he gets captured. He wants to just sweep everything under the rug and just forget about it. But you got Richard Crenna, Troutman, who's not taking any of his shit. Troutman even warns him, you know, you're messing with the wrong person here. He always warns everybody. He warns Sheriff Teasel, you know, you're messing with a one-man army here. Rambo was the best. I mean, how many times do you got to say it? How many times do you have to warn everybody how badass this guy is? Listen to Richard Crenna. God. So all hell breaks loose, and he basically fights this army. He teams up with this girl he meets along the way, and there's a fun fact about that. Before they were going to do a so-called partner in this movie with that girl, I forgot her name, the producers of this wanted John Travolta to be Rambo's partner. But Stallone actually vetoed the idea. Now, they did not approach John Travolta, from what I understand, but they wanted to. It was just an idea. Now, how would that have turned out? I mean, 1985, John Travolta, you know, at that moment really wasn't heavily into action, so to say. I just wonder, like, in my mind, how would that play out? Would he be like a techie, or like would he actually be fighting alongside Rambo with, you know, that would take away what Rambo really can accomplish himself, because he doesn't need anybody to team up with. He doesn't need that. This movie proves that. You do not need it. I just wonder how it would have turned out. But you got Lee Marvin, who declined the role of Murdoch. Instead, went with Charles Napier as Murdoch, and he's great. I guess there was a mishap during one of the explosions that happened in this movie. I forgot which one. I don't really know which one it is, but during filming, a special effects guy actually died from one of the explosions that happens. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, people risk their lives all the time, even if it's special effects or stuntmen. People get hurt. I mean, look how many times Stallone has been hurt. Almost near death. Especially in the first Expendables when he broke his neck. I mean, that's crazy. The guy could have died. But yeah, a lot has gone on in this film. But this movie has everything. I love the gun battles. I mean, look how ripped he is. Look how ripped Stallone is. Actually, he's more ripped in Rambo 3. He is gigantic in Rambo 3. Oh my God, you can see veins popping out. But I mean, look at him right there with the machine gun. Right there. Which is at the end of the movie. Of course, the part they always parody is where the guy is trying to shoot Rambo, and Rambo's just standing there. He gets out an arrow for his bow. He just takes his time, and he's just like, and the guy's shooting him, and he's just, oh crap. And the guy just turns around and he's just like, I'm thinking I'm going to take one more shot, and then Rambo fires. He uses up like a grenade arrow, and that guy explodes. Just for him. That's how badass Rambo is. He doesn't give a fuck. He don't care. Takes out vehicles. He is unstoppable in this movie. Unstoppable. And I like the ending to this movie. I'm not going to give it away, but the things that they do, you know, this federal order document, you know, from, you know, Murdoch. Murdoch basically gets what's coming to him. Pisses his pants. I loved it. I loved every minute of that. But yeah, the most popular one in the series, and people seem to not really care for it. When I was younger, I didn't like this one, Rambo 3. But now I love it. I think it's an underrated action gem. But I've just grown to love this more than any of them. But that's not saying much. I love all 4 Rambo films. So far, I love all 4 of them. But yeah, I wonder how that would have turned out if the title was First Blood 2 and if John Travolta was in it. That would have been, I don't know, that would have been really different. Anyway, not really much more to talk about with this movie. It's my favorite. A lot of action, a lot of great stuff in here, a lot of memorable moments, a lot of good quotes, explosions, and stuff like that. So just like I said, the quintessential Rambo film right here, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my review of Rambo First Blood Part 2. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. In the comments, let me know if you hated the movie, or if you loved the movie, if it's your favorite, or if it's your least favorite. Just let me know. Subscribe for more content. Give the video a like if you liked it. And stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, I'm going to plug in some horror movie reviews and some sci-fi things, as well as some different videos coming up. I also have a response video to my buddy Thomas that I'm working on. And my next review in the Rambo series will, of course, be Rambo 3. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to, you know, check out my videos. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, this is Rob signing off. See you in the next one.